So I put out a thread that I will be at the 300-yard mark. This is the range. A couple of different things that people had asked me to do. One, test 55 versus 62. I can do that. We'll do that at 100 yards because I only shot 55 out of this twice. Both times were an absolute failure. And anything farther than 100 yards, I wouldn't be able to hit anything with a 55. So I have a second Bushmaster. Now this one has the logo on the stock. So what does that mean? That means this has the AR-15 bolt carrier. It has the commercial size stock. This was era like 03 to 015, and then they redid the rifle again and came out with this one, which has the mil-spec stock, the M16 bolt carrier. So we'll take a look at those, and then I also got the Black 13 to do some ammunition testing. Another request I had was hit a quarter at 300 yards. This rifle I typically average about 2.5 MOA with, which at that range is about 6 inches. A quarter would be about this big. Therefore I could hit it, but it's a question on how many rounds I would take it, and I don't have something to tape it on there, and it's more kind of a random roll of luck at that point, so there's real no point in doing it. Next one was take 300-yard headshots offhand. Because this way the range is set up, you have to shoot through these tubes and make shooting offhand impossible. Now if there becomes a point later where no one's here, what I'll do is I'll stand back here and make 300-yard headshots offhand, but I need the range to be empty to do that because that's just not a very smart idea and I don't want to get like banned from here. Next question was a tour of the range, which I will also do that as I set up my targets. You know what, we'll start that right now. So this is how the shooting benches are set up. You have concrete tubes through here which will limit your up and down and left and right movement, and that's for a reason. This range is what I'd call a hot range. While people are shooting, you can change your targets. I'll explain as we go down range. As you can see, this range is run completely off donations. I'll show you where the donation spot is, and I peeked inside there and there's a whole bunch of 20s in there. Which just goes to show you. When you ask people to donate, versus telling people they have to pay, they always donate more than they'll actually have to pay. It's kind of like days off. If you tell somebody you get 3 days off a year, they will use those 3 days off. If you tell somebody that they can have days off whenever they want for sick, statistics show people take off less days if they don't have an actual scheduled amount of days they're supposed to take days off. Same thing happens with donations. The targets we're going to be shooting at today are this center's about the size of my head, so it's got to be right around 6 to 8 inches. The actual target the plate's got to be like 10 or 11 inches around. Let's go set up some targets and get to work. So this is a donation pole. It's basically a steel pole. There's your little slot right there. You can just donate. It's always a good idea to throw a few bucks in at these kind of ranges because that's how they keep the ranges maintenance, keep all the targets repaired. Alright, so that's where the tubes come out. You'll notice that fence right there. As long as you don't cross that fence, it's physically not possible to get hit by a projectile being shot out of that shooting station. And then you got your targets down there. And alright, you go down the trail farther if you want to set up at 200 or 300 yards. And then right here is the 100 yard. As you're going, you notice that you're going beneath a berm. So therefore a projectile can't hit you. You walk down here. Still beneath the berm. And it's set up like a military range. So you'd spin this down, hang your target, and then spin it back up. So you're never in the line of fire. So no matter what, the firing line never has to go cold. And again, you got your fence right there. As long as you stay behind the fence, it's physically not possible to get hit by a projectile. Then you got your pistol range right there. That one's 25. That one's 50. It's set up just like the rifle range where you can change your targets without having to make the line go cold. You got your clay shooting area, and then back there somewhere is archery. Alright, and the black mag is 55, and the gray mag is 62. I think I'm going to do 5 shots of each projectile, then I'll switch rifles. We'll do 62 on the right. So let's get started. Need something else to rest on. Now I don't have my sandbags. I'm hoping I can still get results without them being invalid, because I don't want human error. I just want to test the projectiles itself. And without a good rest, the tests don't make sense because there's too many other variables that could possibly be in there. I think I may have shot 6. I forgot to count. Now for 55. It should be noted, I definitely had a better firing position with the 55. It just felt better. I was more stable. Now, I didn't put enough dope in the rear sight on this to be able to dial completely in, so I am going to be slightly high with my shots, about 2 inches. I could go to the big peep to make up for that, but the big peep is so large it's hard to hold a nice group size, so expect all the shots to be about 2 inches high with this rifle. Alright, let's go take a look at the results. Alright, so this is with the black 13. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 55 I shot over top of the plate. So so they must have been like right here. Because this rifle is set up for 55, I may actually change my 0. I'll have to give that some thought. Now for the bushy, I shot over top of the plate with 55, and I shot over top of the plate with 62. So, no usable test results. I may just flip to the big peep and retry the bushy. And then the black 13, we're going to change the 0, because I don't care what it can shoot 62, I care what it can shoot 55. Scratch that. Now looking at the black 13 again, that's 3 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know where the hell the 5th one went, but either which way we need to bring the 0 down right here. So it's what, 4 MOA? This must be the 5th one. So it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Much tighter than the 62. But let's bring that 0 down and reshoot this. I'll just mark these with red. Alright, so I dialed in 2 clicks with the black 13 on the front post. I can't remember how much I'd adjust it. I can't remember if it's 1 MOA and something or if it's 0.75 MOA. So we're going to shoot it how it is. We'll do a 5 shot. Then I went to the big peep on the Bushmaster, and then we'll shoot that one again. Alright, now for the bushy. It should be noted with the Bushmaster, with both groups, my firing position kind of sucked, but it's still good enough where I should most definitely be on the plate as long as I got the dope dialed in right. So with the Bushmaster, I wish I would have filmed this whole thing so I could have compared holes, but it looks like I got 1 extra shot right there, 1 in the head with the 55, I got 1 in the head with the 62, and then there's 1, 2, 3 shots right here, but I have no idea which one shot it. Who knows? But either which way, I got 1 out of 5 headshots at 100 yards with the Bushmaster, but that's not really the point of the rifle. Point of the rifle is center mass. Black 13 is for headshots. So what can we learn from that little bit of testing? And again, I apologize for the god-awful lighting, but if I don't just start shooting videos down here, I'm never going to commit to building a studio down here, so you're just going to have to deal with it, and it'll improve over time. Most of my videos will still be at the store, so you won't have to deal with it, but there will be some down here. Alright, so with the Black 13, which is a 20-inch 5.56 barrel, you are looking at a point of impact shift, because the 55 went right at the top of the plate, and the 62 went right there, of about 7 inches switching from 55 to 62 grain ammunition. That's just because 55 flies so much faster. It's a much flatter shooting round. So let's take a look at some more footage and see if we can't pick out any more information. Alright, so the Black 13 I was shooting right here. I adjusted 2 clicks with the front sight. It brought me to right here. I'm going to put 1 more click on it, and then I'm going to actually take my time and try to shoot a good group. Because I would love to recreate that. That's well below 1 MOA. Nice 3-shot group. So let's give it a try. Alright, I got the correction made on my front pin. Let's load up some 55. See where we're shooting, try to print a nice group. I don't remember how many shots that was, but let's go check it out. So I shot 7 shots. God awful group. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But The correction I threw on it does appear to be good. So let's go throw a plate at 300 yards. Check the dope on my card. If that's correct, then we're gonna, because no one's here, we're gonna try to make some 300 yard offhand headshots. Shit blends in a little bit too well, and the 300 yard is all covered in foliage. But we're gonna give her a shot. All right, let's see if I can get an image of what we're gonna be shooting at here. All right, so there's the 100. There's the 200. Camera's zoom. But so that target is a 200. That target is a 200. The one above it, I believe, is my 300. I'm not 100% sure because I can't get the light to adjust properly. But I'm pretty sure that back there is where I'll be shooting. Alright, so pretty sure I located my target. Last time I was here, it wasn't all overgrown, so it was easy to spot my target. This time it's not quite the case. Oh no, tell me I still got another mag at 55. Yahtzee! Alright, so let's take some pokes at this. Make sure my dope card is reading correct. It's saying at 300. I need to come up 3.1 MOA. So that's 6 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I should be point of aim, point of impact at 300. If I did my card right, which we'll find out. But we're going to do 5 shots, and we'll go check, see what things look like, and go from there. That's got to be my target. I don't see anything else that looks white. Alright, that's 5. Let's go see if that's actually my target, and if it is, if my dope is correct. Oh, my dope is correct. And I got 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that's 4 and 5. I either got one that was totally missed, or that's 4 and 5 right there. That does kind of look awfully big for a single hole. It's not very circular. Here's the back side. My God, that's got to be 4 and 5. So yes, my dope is correct. And that was my target I was seeing. Depending on if there's still somebody here, we're going to shoot this offhand. Alright, I got the new target hung. I marked off all the hits up here on red. Unfortunately, if I go below this line, I'm not going to know if I hit or not because it's just peppered. But hopefully, we'll get them up here so I can see where I'm shooting. Alright, I'm doing this for you guys. If I get banned, well, it was for the greater good. 300 yards offhand. What do you guys think? Do you think I made any 300-yard headshots offhand? Oh, let's see what we got here. Ha! You can suck my ass. Yeah, that probably bounced off the ground and went through because it's definitely in a tumble. But that is a clean hit. 300 yards, headshot. Oh, there's another one. I didn't even notice that one. Boom. Now, I don't know how many I fired. I'm guessing somewhere around 10, and I got 3 headshots, and I don't see any other hits. Let's look really carefully. But there was, no doubt, 3 or 4 shots. I was like, okay, that's not even close. I jumped the trigger and put it into the dirt. Alright, so I made headshots. Offhand, standing, not supported. Take that, naysayers. Everybody that said, oh, just because you can shoot like that on the bench doesn't mean you'd ever be able to do it offhand. Yes, I fired a few rounds. It took me 12 rounds to hit it. I hit 3. Yes, this one's tumbling, but that would totally be fatal. If you got hit in the face with that, you'd be dead. Now, was it the first shot, the last shot, or somewhere in between? I think it was more closer to the last shot. I'll never know for sure because I only got 1 shell, or 1 camera. But so I had to kind of squat to be able to look down the tube, which made it really tough. But you'll notice, like, I was kind of shooting like this, but then I changed my firing position to more like this. And this felt a lot more stable. So I think it was one of my last shots where I actually made contact. But again, I only have 1 camera, so we'll never really know. The point is, you really shouldn't talk bad about somebody's shooting skills until you've actually seen them shoot, because you have no idea what they're capable of. Quick scan over the target. As you can see, I have all the hits marked off in red. Now we'll do 300 yards from a sitting position, not supported. Alright, 300 yards sitting, not supported. Let's try some headshots. Alright, so 300 yards, I was attempting to make a headshot sitting. I kind of made one. I grazed the plate right there. And I got, well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know exactly how many I shot. I kind of disappointed. I wanted to get at least 1 directly in here. But at least I hit the plate. Yeah, it's a nick, but I still hit the damn plate. Alright, I'm black on ammo on the Black 13. Kind of funny. So I can't shoot that anymore. However, I do have ammunition for the harvester. Because this rifle is so much harder to shoot because it's not set up to shoot headshots, it's set up to shoot minute a man. I'm going to use a bag, but I'm still going to try to sneak in a headshot there. So what do we got to do to shoot 300 yards with your military A2 sight? You're going to have to go to the small peep. And because this is calibrated in meters, not yards, you need to go down 1 MOA. Let's see if I can't sneak in a headshot. go take a look. What do you guys think? Do you think I got a headshot at 300 yards with an inferior sighting system using inferior ammunition with an inferior rifle? Let's take a look. I did in fact score one headshot. Now we'll have to compare footage to see which shot is which. I believe these were the black 13 and then there was one up here. So it appears I'm still shooting a little bit high and to the left. But if I were to make an adjustment because of how coarse the sighting system is on that rifle, one click would probably push me way over here. So I have to stick with this. Could have just been my cheek weld, but you know what? I did get a headshot. Oh, 2 headshots. I didn't even notice that one. Nice. But I think I fired like 10 rounds to get it. Alright, so with the Bushmaster, I actually fired 14 rounds. I scored 2 headshots, and then the rest were like right in here. So what have we learned of all of this? This is definitely not a headshot rifle. But that's not what I picked this rifle for. This is just for getting shots on target as quickly as possible, staying as light as possible, and moving on. And if I'd have been shooting at a silhouette, yeah, I would have probably got more or less 100% hits on a human-sized target at 300 yards. This is the ambush rifle. This is for starting off with a headshot and then putting very precise, very accurate fire, very fast, downrange. This wouldn't be something you'd carry around. This would be for carrying around. Now you may have noticed the sling is missing. This is true. So what's going on here? So in order to get this handguard to clear the sling, because this handguard is made for just your military style gas block, and then you're supposed to cut off the sling swivel, and then this puts it right under there so it looks like the rifle's military. Well, to get it to clear this JP gas block, what I had to do was bend this like this, and when I was doing that, it did make a cracking sound, so I assumed at some point it would fail. So what I gotta do now is remove the handguard. I'm gonna just cut off this little plastic nub and then weld it back to the handguard, but back just a little bit. I kind of suspected this would fail at one point. I should have just re-welded it right away. That's what my gut was saying. Hey, support that with weld because that's gonna fail. So now I can't have it like this, but that looked really kind of corny off at an angle. But now it'll look fine. Basically, what's going to show, it's going to look something like this. But this piece is going to be under the plastic, so it'll look more like a normal handguard. The only problem is I can't take this handguard off. I don't like it when my rifles fall apart, so like every screw on here has gallons of Loctite and they've been staked into place. Except for the gas block adjustment, I have to wait to run this in the dead cold winter to make sure that I still have enough gas to cycle the rifle reliably. I can't stand adjustable gas blocks, but that's what I'm working with. But once I know that the gas block is good to go, then these are getting staked and also getting the ever-living shit Loctited out of them. So, I gotta weld this back on. It'll look like dog shit because I have a crappy welder, but it's okay because it'll be underneath the handguard and no one will notice. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to check out any other videos, the playlist for this rifle will be right here. This will probably be some random video that you can click on. If you'd like to help support the channel, I got my Patreon. I also got affiliate links in the description down below. Just by clicking on those links, even if you don't buy what the link is for, but clicking on it and doing the Amazon shopping you're going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you came there off of my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.